If anyone says, oh, would you like some cheese with that? You're expecting to get some cheddar. I find it easier to dip. Dippy dippy, helps with the YouTube algorithms. Right, let's make a cheese toastie. Because who doesn't love a cheese toastie? So, yes, if you've got one of those Breville toastie machines, they make a really nice toastie. And you can't quite make one the same way, but you've probably got one of those toastie machines, but it's probably in the back of some cupboard somewhere, and you've got it out once in the last 2 years, and it's a pain in the ass to get it out, set it up and do everything with it. So as much as that's quick and easy, once you've got it out, you just put the cheese and the bread and stuff in, it's no quicker and easier than doing this in a pan, the way I'm going to be doing it, like an American grilled cheese, because I've already got the pan out and the pan's already warm. Yeah, if you can do a really quick one, just put it in the toaster, then in the microwave. Yeah, it's a lot quicker, but it's not going to be as good as this. So, a bit of a middle ground, if I say so myself. There's only really two main ingredients, bread and cheese. Only I'm going to be using 3 different cheeses. And if you've only got really simple ingredients, you want good ingredients. So I've got a really nice farmhouse batch white loaf. Any bread you like, toasted, really is going to work for this. Cheese, I've got 3 cheeses. I think a proper, really good cheese toastie needs 3 cheeses. So we've got a really good melter, a really nice funky cheesy cheese, and then like the backbone cheese. I've got Swiss cheese and Emmental as like a really good melter, something that's gonna like add that really nice rich gooiness. Mozzarella would probably work there, red Leicester would work there. Anything that really nice and melts and gooey, goes all gooey. My funky cheese, I've got a Gruyere, which to be fair is pretty good melter as well, but that's mostly there as my funky cheesy cheese. Pecorino, Manchego, Brie, although Brie is also a good melter, but you know what I mean. And then the backbone, I can't really see why you wouldn't just go with cheddar, because cheddar is the goat cheese, but it's not goat's cheese, it's the greatest of all time. It's literally the best cheese. If anyone says, oh, would you like some cheese with that? You're expecting to get some cheddar. If you're having a cheese sandwich, your chances are it's going to be cheddar. Unless it's stipulated otherwise, it's going to be a cheddar. I mean, it'd be a bit weird if, I mean, I'm expecting Parmesan if I'm in an Italian restaurant and ask, do you want cheese on pasta? But, you know what I mean. But, by all means, mix and match, go with stuff that's really cheesy or not so cheesy or whatever. But you're going to want something that adds a punch of flavour, something that adds some meltiness, and then just like a all-round decent filler cheese. Can go with all slices, but you don't want too much in the way of too thick slices. The softer cheeses that are harder to grate don't matter too much, but I've grated the Gruyere and the cheddar nice and fine just to ease the distribution. The next step, so we are gonna butter the outside of our sandwich. This is salted butter. One of the few times I do use salted butter is in sandwiches and on bread. Normally I don't want the extra salt, I'm going to control the salt myself, but in this instance the salt's just going to add some extra flavour, so I'm not going to complain. But you do want a decent amount of butter all over, because the butter's also going to crisp it up. It's going to be a source of fat for it to crisp, and it's also going to stop it from sticking in the pan, so don't skimp on the butter. I have also seen techniques where people use I have also seen techniques where people use mayo for this as well, and that does work. Mayo is 90% fat. Mayo is mostly fat, but I think butter brings its own flavour to the party, whereas mayo maybe doesn't. Sourdough works well, rye works well. There's quite a few different plain old white doorstop just a plain old white Hovis, whatever, household white. But you don't want particularly thick slices, because bread is quite spongy, it's got loads of air in it. It's actually a really good thermal insulator. So what it does is it stops the heat from being able to go through. When you're making this, what you want is you want the cheese inside to start melting as this is browning. You don't want the bread to like toast and brown off really nice on the outside before the cheese has even started melting. So what I also say is get your cheese out, grate it, that helps it melt, but also leaving it out at room temperature for a bit, kind of like how you temper a steak or a bit of meat. If you get it out and let it come up to room temperature a bit, that really helps it to melt a bit quicker as well. So need to be kind of quick. So I've got the pan preheating. You can use any low frying pan that you can get into quite easily on quite a low heat, because we want to take our time with this. This isn't a stir fry, but we're going to go in with a slice of bread, and we're going to start going in with our cheeses. Now get slices of Emmental on there. Doesn't matter if you spill some in your pan. So, there you go. A bit more over here maybe. Decent all-round coverage. Right, and on with butter side out the other side. And now, pretty much waiting game. Take your time, go slow, go low, take your time, and then just let it slowly fry that bottom bit of bread. You want to have that? Just keep the heat as low as you can. And what you can also do, if you are struggling to get it to melt, whack a lid on there. Trap that heat in. It's going to just help everything melt and get gooey. But see, quite simple. I haven't actually had a bit of grating, but you could slice that if you wanted to. Bit of butter in a pan, leave it. So some additions that work, like when you put the cheese in before you put the other slice of bread in, pickled jalapenos, pickled gherkins, pickled onions, pickled pickles in general work quite well. Add a bit of crunch, add a bit of acidity. You can put sauce in then if you want, but I always find that the sauce just gets mega hot and just makes it really, I find it easier to dip. So a bit of tomato sauce inside, I'll put it on top. Meats can go in there, so if you want a slice of ham or prosciutto, corned beef doesn't work too well. Any sort of sandwich deli meats can go in there as well. Like I see, it's starting to melt now. Look around the other side. Right. Let's have a look at this. See, it's all starting to get nice, gooey, cheesy. Well, it was already cheesy, but get a few more minutes on the other side. Get in there, get in there. A little bit longer. Crisp up, brown off properly. Right, cool that. Good trick, if you want a really cool cheese pull, slice it, but it's still hot, push it back together again, and just let it sit so the cheese re-mingles again. But, bosh. Tell me that's not a good looking cheese toastie. Yeah, like I said, you could have done this in the microwave. I'll take a picture for me for the cover thumbnail. yeah, we've done it in the microwave, but it's a bit anemic. You don't quite get the same crunch. And yeah, if you've got a toasty maker, make it in a toasty maker. But not everyone's got a toasty maker. And on top of that, if your toasty maker's already out and ready to go, then use that by all means. There is something special about the way that makes toasties. But when all's said and done, I have a pan out, so you can use any pan. It hasn't got to be a carbon steel. You can use a cast iron, non-stick, stainless steel, anything. There's so much fat there, it's not going to stick. But yeah, quick and easy. Less than 10-15 minutes. Piece of the proverbial. Dollop of sauce on the side. What do we want? Bit of tomato sauce. Dippy. But tell me that. Alright, yeah, it's gonna clog your arteries. Don't eat it every day. But here and there, nice treat. Or a bit of soup maybe as well. Have a proper meal out of it. But there you go. Robert's your mother's brother. Bosh. Yeah. So, give it a like. Give me a like, it does help. Helps with the YouTube algorithms. Subscribe as well. I mean, I think I've got like 7 subscribers, but every little helps. It sounds like I've got hundreds. I haven't got hundreds. Thousands. Yeah, subscribe, like, comment. Got more videos coming. Lockdown starting again, so I'll be back on full power. But yeah, I'll see you beautiful lot next time I see you beautiful lot. Adios.